desserts recipe.
Oh, awesome. That was so good.
Somewhere else, something else too. A few people already have that recipe, but most of you don't. And I promised that I would bring it to recipe classes. That way it's much easier for me because I can say it once and have it written down and everybody than like saying it different times. So the coconut macaroon that we ate that day is actually a very nice recipe to be sharing because it's super easy. It doesn't need anything that I bet most of you, I bet all of you don't have at home. You know, it's very, very easy. We only use well, I use the Vitamix to do it, but you guys can definitely use a food processor. And those of you who don't can also use a Vitamix. It's going to be super easy. And then I just refrigerate them. I don't dehydrate or nothing like that. So what we're going to use is 1 cup of soaked shredded coconuts. So you buy the shredded coconut and you soak it for shredded coconut. Oh, you can soak that for 2 hours. Warm water. It doesn't need to be hot water at all, but warm water, 2 hours is perfect. And you know, just always be mindful that when you're soaking something, you always want to soak like 50, for example, if it's in a pitcher, it's like you want to put twice as much water as whatever you have inside, whatever the content is, okay? Because anything that is soaked, it gains a lot of, inflates a lot. So you don't want to put like, oh, you know, I have this much, I'm going to put just this much water to cover it. It's not enough. Always double the water, okay? So 1 cup of shredded coconut, half a cup of, 1 cup soaked shredded coconut, don't mind the English. Half a cup of soaked cashews. And
Raw and unsalted, no doubt.
sorry, love?
Raw and unsalted.
Exactly, of course. Yeah. It's the ones that taste the better and the one that can stay.
How long soaked?
Cashews, I would say to soak that for at least 4 hours with warm water. I always like to soak with warm water.
4 to 6?
Yeah. And half a cup of soaked dates. For our case, I use dates and raisins, but you can use only dates or only raisins or both of them, just however you prefer. Yeah, oh yeah, always. Dates and raisins when you use for recipes, you soak them most of the time. I would say 4 hours too. Right. A little less than that. If you're like, oh my god, I have this party and I need to go and I need to take something and I want to do this, you know, you can soak for a little less. And if you want, like, you can even like put it on the stove and let it warm. You know, it won't be raw. It won't be all couple glass, blah 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 blah. Of course, it won't. But you'll be able to bring the recipe to the party. So, besides that, I use, so the little spoon is a teaspoon. That's a tablespoon. And the tiny teaspoon. That's even too much. No, yeah, it can be like a flat teaspoon of sea salt. And you put all that through the food processor.
Flat.
Sorry, love?
One.
So what is the salt for? The salt.
Sweet taste sweeter.
Exactly. You know, I guess that would be something that people would know, but some people don't know that.
Yeah. Makes the sweet
It
sweeter.
enhances the sweet flavor. And some people like the salt. This is not what we're looking for, but some people like salty and sweet together. But this is not the case today. So you just make this mixture in the food processor, and you're gonna have a dough, whatever, a paste. I don't know how you call that in English. Just
Paste.
paste, you know. Then you're gonna add unsoaked shredded coconut to it to give the consistency you want.
Do you have to blend it? Do you have
Sorry,
to blend-
love?
Do you have to blend it?
Uh,
Like cashews, you soften, then you have to blend in blender?
Yeah,
You put a blender.
in the food processor.
And so we have a paste.
Twylla, are you putting the coconuts in the blend to begin with?
Everything
So,
you blend it.
In the food processor, yeah. Food
Okay.
processor.
This recipe, in the dough, there is a cup of soaked shredded coconuts. It's a part of the dough.
Okay.
Once you have that dough with the shredded coconut, soaked shredded coconut, cashews, and dates, this is gonna give you something. And then you add unsoaked shredded coconut to it to give the consistency you want.
How much?
As to give the I don't know who asked it, but to give the consistency you want. So if you want like something that is thicker and that is not as liquidy, you want to add more. If you want something that you're gonna, you know, for our case, yeah, I would say, I'd say like even less, yeah, just a little bit. Maybe a fourth of a cup, I would say. Then, I'm gonna shred or grate, I don't know, what's the difference? Some lemon zest on you know, the fine shredder. Not the one that's hard to use, but the one that's easy to use. And of course, so you're gonna have that, and you're gonna mix that with unsoaked shred coconut too. Just make, you know, and then you put it on a plate in order to roll the balls. And there you go, ready to go to your party.
So, what do we do with the shredded coconut?
The soakage put in the blender.
Oh, I see. Do you have the...
No, you mix them all together.
What did she say before the unsoaked coconut? What was that before the unsoaked coconut?
What did you say?
What was before the unsoaked coconut? What did she say was that before that?
You mean?
I would
that-
put like,
you add-
Oh, no, afterwards. She said
depends
something
on
afterwards.
Then you put
the
the
amount
unsoaked
you
coconut
have.
for the consistency.
And
Then you take some
so
lemon
this
zest
proportions are a little approximate
you
because
put it on a plate.
I make like this,
And then you roll
and I
it.
make for all of us.
Put the lemon zest
So
on the
I didn't
plate and
make
roll it in the
this
lemon zest.
exact recipe that I'm giving you. This is what I'm figuring,
Sure.
and I hope I'm getting
So come
good at figuring. But so depending on the amount you have, I would go for. I think that this would give you like something like this much. You can use a third of a cup of shred lemon and a third of a cup of shred unsoaked coconut. Mix it all together and then just roll the balls over it, on it.
Good.
Yeah, did you have any question right here?
How many people that would be serving?
That would be making, and this is a guess,
Yeah.
that would be making 12 balls.
Depends on the size of the bowl.
Depending on the size of the ball, let's say 12 balls of the size that I made for you guys.
Okay.
Double this recipe for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you know what? There's some recipes that, this is something that it's funny, there's some recipes that you really need to double, and this is one of them, because it's not too sweet, so you can actually eat a lot. You know, that day, man, I ate a lot of those bowls. Sorry guys. but it's true, you know, some recipes are super rich and like, oh my god, I can't have more than that. But this is a recipe that you can double easily.
You can actually add goji berries as well.
You can add whatever you want. Oh yes, this is just a start for whatever you guys want to put your creativity on. Add cacao. You can add
peanut butter.
You can add cinnamon to it. You know. Yeah. Yes, love.
What do you call them?
I call them herb coconut macaroons, but I was not very creative.
I call them yummy balls on my paper.
Sorry?
Yummy balls.
Yummy balls, there you go. Just call them yummy balls.
Raw almond butter.
Sorry?
Add a little bit of raw almond butter and cacao.
Oh, I can't have raw almond butter. But you can.
Yeah.
It's just too rich. I can't. It's like,
Yeah.
Mixed
in this recipe.
I'll try it sometime. I'll let you know.
so that is it, guys. Do you have any questions about this one?
Not that one.
You all good?
Where are the samples?
Yeah, you were supposed to make them.
I was thinking the same thing.
Travis gave us samples. They're quick and easy.
Well, come back in 6 hours.
I will.
You need to ask Marcia.
I'm sorry, this is a real basic question, but this is 1 cup before it's been soaked.
No, it's 1 cup. Once
After
it's
being soaked.
yeah. One cup of soaked cashews, of soaked. And please ask all of the basic questions you want. And so there's something else that I wanted to, love, tell me.
Could you add vanilla?
Sure. So in this case, I thought about adding vanilla, but there's, so there's this thing. When you start making desserts, there are a few ingredients that become so popular that sometimes you just want to avoid them. And I've been making this I make like a different recipe for every dessert and each retreat, and we have twice a dessert during a retreat. So I kind of get like, I need to explore the things, and there are some things that are super useful, but I need to let them go because otherwise it's going to be the same thing. This is why I didn't add vanilla, but you can for sure add vanilla in this case. But you wanna have the coconut flavor.
Yes.
Yeah.
You wanna,
The lemon is so good.
yeah, the lemon makes it. The lemons just makes everything fresh. And when it's too sweet, the lemon would always balance it a little bit. So it's a good tool. There's something else that I would like to share with you guys before. While we still have some time. I've heard some people ask me for the recipe for the crackers yesterday. So I brought that too.